AICC Secretary and one of the senior observers here, Shillong, and my colleague, Media Coordinator and Assam PCC Vice President, Srimati Bobita Sharma. We are going to talk about certain issues which is of concern for the people of Meghalaya. Without taking much of time, I leave to Pawan Khera sir to take it over from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. My senior colleague, Mr. J.D. Shillong, my colleague Bobita ji, and of course my friend and colleague Matthew. Sorry for the delay. In every election, can I switch the mobile off, the mic off? In every election, whether you are the ruling party or you are in the opposition, what is important for the voter is to assess the performance of the outgoing government, of the incumbent government, based on the promises made in the manifesto. That's only too normal in a democracy. And the track record of the government, of the incumbent government. In the last 5 years, what have they done? What have they not done? What is it that they should not have done? So I was driving down from Guwahati to Shillong and I saw some hoardings of the BJP saying that we need to free Shillong, Meghalaya from corruption, from a corrupt government. I called up Matthew. Matthew, am I wrong when I say that BJP was a part of this government? He said, no, of course they were. So imagine, the BJP also finds the MDA corrupt. We've done some research, not much effort required, because every single citizen of this beautiful state knows what we are about to say. They are aware of what went wrong. Everybody knows that the temple of democracy, which is the assembly, how the dome fell. Who doesn't know about the dome? And it's a sad commentary that the kind of corruption that went into the allotment of tender of this assembly, when I repeat, it's the temple, the church of democracy. In that you were found to be corrupt. And it has never happened in the history of this country where you give a tender, a contract to one bidder, denying the other two bidders that, sorry, you are not experienced, you cannot construct a dome, therefore we cannot give you the tender. Guess who gets the final subcontract? Those two companies which were denied the original contract. And they were denied because they had no experience in constructing a dome. They end up getting the work. Obviously, the dome had to fall. They were not experienced. And the officer who was responsible for this is now contesting elections. It's a textbook case. I think after the elections, Netflix will come up with a very entertaining serial on this. Unfortunately, it will be tragic. It won't even be comic. But that's the kind of government Meghalaya has experienced for the last 5 years. So that very officer is now contesting as the NPP candidate from North Shillong. Look at the cheek. Look at the shamelessness. In Hindi they say, "To chori upar se seena chori." He is proud to be a thief. Obviously, he is not the only one. Obviously, he has the blessings of someone. Who is that someone? Everyone knows the answer. So, I won't go into the details of the companies. In the press release, you will have all the details of these two companies who were given the subcontract of the dome. I would also not go into the figures because that's a very boring, longish press conference. So, but the figures are also in the press release. COVID was something which all of us, the entire country, suffered from. But some parts of the country suffered from a double whammy. There was COVID and there was corrupt governments which were handling COVID-19. In Meghalaya, there were 96,785 COVID cases and 816 crore was spent. 1,624 deaths. So ex gratia payment was 816 crore. Manipur spent just a little over 100 crores for 1.4 lakh cases of COVID and 2,149 deaths. Just a comparison. See where Meghalaya stands. So Meghalaya's COVID expenditure was 8 times more than that of Manipur, and even it had much lesser COVID cases and deaths. Where is the money gone? Everybody wants to know the answer. Where is that money gone? So, 119.73 crore being released by the center. The discrepancy is of 43.73 crores. Where is that money gone? Who has pocketed that money? Again, the Director of Health Services, who should have been held accountable for this discrepancy, is also contesting election. Look at the joke. He is the UDP candidate from Shillong North. Who's the one behind all these people? First, they use these officers for corrupt practices. Then they protect those officers. Then they get them to resign. Then get them in their own fold. Come, fight elections. Together we'll do more corruption. You were on the other side of the table, now you come on this side of the table. So the players will keep changing, interchanging. Under the table, things will keep going on, and Meghalaya will keep suffering. Why? When will it all stop? This must stop. The third charge in our charge sheet is the Meghalaya Urban Development Authority scam. 500 crores was given to MUDA. No utilization certificate has been given, and no one knows where that money was spent. This was for the development of the city. Where is the development? Where is the 500 crore rupees? Where is the utilization certificate? Where is the accountability? And these are not small numbers. This could have transformed the city. Mega shopping complex at Meghalaya Transport Corporation, Jail Road. It is also under the scanner. The government intends to spend more than 200 crores in a plot land measuring less than 50,000 square feet. Numbers speak for themselves. Smacks of corruption. Massive, brazen, shameless corruption. Now, a senior BJP leader and former minister, A.L. Heck, whose party was an alliance partner of this government, has also castigated the MDA government for spending such a huge sum of money for a shopping center. As I said, within their own family, they are accusing each other. This is the state of affairs. You all covered the coal scam, the illegal mining and transportation of coal. The Meghalaya High Court in 2022 had appointed that Justice B.P. Katake committee, retired judge of the Guwahati High Court. And in his report, he has stated 13 lakh metric tons of coal was illegally mined. 13 lakh metric tons. Mind-boggling. The report has been very scathing in its observation. But tell me, if any head rolled, was anyone punished? Was anybody held accountable? What happened? You can't put such a beautiful state to shame because of some corrupt leaders. 650 crores. That's the kind of scam we are talking about in this illegal mining and transportation of coal. 650 crores. Now we come to the Saubhagya scam. The CAG rarely speaks these days. After 2014, we haven't heard much from the CAG. Suddenly everybody is quiet. But in the 2021 audit report, the CAG exposed a scam of 149 crores in the state power department. A Delhi firm was given a turnkey project. There is an accusation that there was undue favor given to that firm. The irregularities in the power department include implementation of various projects which were commissioned from the ADB funds, the metering project, the smart metering project. The rice scam, rice which was meant for the poor, which should have ideally gone for the PDS beneficiaries, was found in Assam. It was taken away. 50 lakh kilo. Yeah. Can you imagine the kind of cruel people who would rob from the poor? Who does that? So even when I'm talking about it, my blood boils. I'm sure your blood boils too. I'm sure the blood of every single voter of Meghalaya is boiling right now. How can you rob from the poor? And this is taxpayers' money. You and I pay from our taxes so that the poor can be fed. That rice was smuggled for the open market. We all know about the cartelization which took place in the IMFL business, how the prices were manipulated. This was in 2019 when the cartel was formed. A lot has been spoken about it, written about it. Then we have heard about the casino scam. How nepotism and favoritism, there have been charges of nepotism in how these three licenses that were given. The church and other activist organizations opposed the move, claiming that you cannot legitimize or legalize gambling. Then the government scrapped opening of these casinos. But the intention of the government came out very clear. Corruption with no regard to the social fabric of the state. No regard whatsoever. There are two families, two ministers. Everyone knows their name. I'll name the name of the company and you'll know who I'm talking about. The Dhar Construction Company. Who doesn't know about the Dhar Construction Company? Again, nowhere in the country you will see two people, ministers in the government, own a company in their own name and they get all the contracts, most of the important construction contracts, road construction contracts, other contracts, government contracts for their company. Nowhere will you see this level of brazenness, this level of shamelessness in the house. There is corruption in other parts of the country. I am not saying there is no corruption in other parts of the country, but this brazenness is unknown in other parts of the country. And it was unknown even in Meghalaya until the MDA came. We've heard about the police purchase scam, and when I'm reading, this is my 10th charge that we are reading. Believe me, there are hundreds of them. And it took us a lot of effort in shortlisting because each one of the scam was bigger than the previous one. But then we had to be brief, therefore we've only chosen 10 scams. So in the police purchase scam, November 2, 2022, an AIG was arrested, we all know about it, by the CID in connection with this mismanagement of procurement of vehicles. Friends, in 5 years, there is only one chance people get to punish a government which has so shamelessly indulged into the corruption, this kind of corruption. This opportunity will not come back till 2028. If you miss the opportunity now, You not only reward the corrupt, you encourage them to further indulge into corruption. Do we want that? I don't want to comment on the one gentleman who is the Brutus now. Mamtaji will understand who I am talking about. If she doesn't understand, she'll understand in a few months or years. If he could do this to us, he'll definitely do it to her also. We've all seen Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D. Everybody is aware of who's acting on whose behalf. Today somebody met me outside. Said this time a lot of senior Congress leaders are coming to Meghalaya. Why? I said because we are winning. We are coming here because we are absolutely confident of forming the next government in Meghalaya and ridding Meghalaya of the corrupt NDA government. Meghalaya can see through the collusion, the unholy alliance. Some alliances are visible, some alliances are not visible. Meghalaya wants to vote for a 5-star Meghalaya. Meghalaya wants to vote for these 5 commitments made by the Congress party. Meghalaya is absolutely confident that the times are changing for the state and they're changing for the better. The times will change when the government changes. We promise you that within the first 100 days, we will deliver on our promises. I have a small anecdote here, which you'll find very interesting. In 2018, the Congress party won Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And I repeat this example wherever I go because this is the example why people like me are in the Congress. Mr. Rahul Gandhi along with senior leaders, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was Congress president in 2018, came to Jaipur for the oath-taking ceremony of Mr. Gehlot, went to Madhya Pradesh for Mr. Kamal Nath, and then went to Chhattisgarh for Mr. Baghel. By the time his plane landed in Delhi on that evening of a December day, I'm forgetting the date now, all the 3 governments had called the first cabinet meeting, signed the file for loan waiver of farmers. All the 3 governments before the sun set, before Rahul Gandhi returned to Delhi, the promises made to the voters of these 3 states were honored. That's the kind of commitment, and we've stopped calling it a manifesto. In Hindi we call it the Sankalp Patra now. We are determined to deliver. So this charge sheet in your left hand and in your right hand, keep our 5 commitments and then vote for the Congress. We are very confident that we will win. Thank you. Your questions, please.
The Chief Minister yesterday, he had claimed that all opposition MLAs have joined the FPP because they support the MDA government and its achievement, and second because they know that the MDA is coming back to power. What do you have to say?
He should first put his hand on his heart before he says anything. Before he opens his mouth, his hand should be here. And he should be able to look straight into your eyes. If he can do that, it's a challenge. He can't, then we'll enter into a conversation with him. Otherwise, I don't have any comment to make on him. His days are numbered.
We have seen you have today come out with the charge sheet against the MDA, but we have seen the reports of the inquiry committees that have been set up to probe into these irregularities. We have seen that most of these inquiry reports, they have come up with a clean sheet, against the government. So what do you have to say?
You can't be the judge, jury and executioner. We, from the Congress party, give a word of honor to every single voter of Meghalaya when we come to power. We ensure that the guilty are brought to book. Justice will be delivered. People will be convinced that what the Congress has said, Congress meant it. People who robbed the people of Meghalaya won't go scot-free. That's the word of honor.
I have a query here.
How will you prove the charge sheet that you have leveled against this government? How will you prove that?
Most of the 10 points, in fact every single point in this charge sheet, which as I said in the past, these are only 10 but there are hundreds of charges. Every single point here is well known, not just to the media fraternity, to the people of Meghalaya, but justice is not done through press conferences. Justice is done through a process of law which we follow, and you will see justice as being delivered.
Will you file a FIR against the government?
Whatever needs to be done will be done, and the guilty will be punished.
You told somebody Brutus. Can you tell us who is that Brutus?
Everyone knows. Now, in fact, Brutus is known by another name, Mukut Sangma. That's his name. Now, people say, oh, nobody says Brutus as Brutus. Brutus has been renamed as Sangma, Mukut Sangma.
What harm has he done to you?
Sorry?
What harm has he done to you?
You read the history of Brutus and you will see the harm done by Brutus.
I've listened to your rantings against the ruling coalition.
I like the choice of words.
But I'm surprised that the Congress, all those years, have not gone to the court of law or have not filed an FIR.
We are a political party, my friend. We know how to fight.
But you were in the opposition
Yes.
then.
We will fight our battles politically first. If we fail in political battles, of course we have the court of law to go to. But as a political party, our first priority is to fight political battles in a political manner. That's what we are doing. And we
Don't
will.
you think you have already failed?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. You will see.
Because the same people have left, I mean, who were with you all. 18 of them, 12 have joined the TLC.
I won't comment on those who've left. I have already commented on them. But my limited understanding is that when times are tough, when there is a time for and a need for struggle, the weak-hearted lead. The strong-hearted fight. You can see a lot of strong-hearted Congress men and women fighting. Believe me, they'll win.
With whom are Congress are fighting in India?
Against the corrupt governments. The
Because
MDA.
So many parties there.
The MDA.
See, on that particular point, you look at the vote share of Congress in the last elections, it's 28.5%. And if you look at a few individuals who have left the party, that doesn't mean that the entire organization has left with them. And you will see that reflected in this coming election, where we retain 28.5% or even more, which is coming because we have got NCP people joining us, which was around a 1.5% last time. And we see an increased participation from the rest of the people also. That's what our internal reports are giving, a good 42 plus kind of a prospects in the coming election to come
This should
across.
have been another press
Yeah.
conference. We shouldn't believe.
Yeah.
In this election,
to do that.
in this election,
My friend has just leaked a confidential report to you.
yeah, most of the candidates who are contested from the Congress are the new face of the society. What makes the Congress so confident to?
Young professionals is something which the Congress party has been very methodically trying to build in every state. States where I come from also. The party is trying to build new young professionals. I think you 10 women.
10 women and 47 out of the 60 candidates are less than 45 years of age, which is on the ratio of the 74% of Meghalayan population of 35 years and less. So that is what is giving an opportunity. When people leave the organization, that also gives opportunity for young people to come in, new faces to come in, and that's what we are doing.
And also, I think Meghalaya would become the first state where the Udaipur declaration of the Congress party will be seen in action. Below 50, as Matthew rightly informed you.
If we come to Khasi Hills, it's not the party-based politics that works here. It's the candidate-based politics. So do you think that your candidate, they have in themselves that winnability factor?
Yes, they are fresh, new, young, honest faces, and they are people who are very active in the society, and therefore they stand a very good chance, in fact, very, very winning chance We are very, therefore, that's where our confidence comes from.
One of your former MLAs.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go.
Even if Congress gets good number of seats, there are speculations that post-elections, BJP will use all its might and resources to form a government with its like-minded partners, keeping Congress at bay. How do you plan to tackle that?
Now first of all, there is no like-mindedness there. Number two, all those who've left stand exposed in the society. Most of them are regretting also, and I know this for a fact. Believe me, not one from our fold will leave.
One of your former MLAs, who is also the opposition chief with Bajaj Shillong, he had alleged that the Congress has a tacit understanding with the NDP.
No, our only clear, visible understanding is with the people of Meghalaya. There is nothing tacit, invisible about the way we do our politics. Our politics is very clear, black and white, absolutely clear, crystal clear.
Yeah.
These are the guilty ones. So
So,
we
is
can-
that post-poll, in case no single party gets a majority?
we will be getting the majority. We are forming the government.
In post-poll, no party getting majority.
Congress
That means-
party is absolutely sure of getting the majority and forming the government.
And Bajaj Lindo had also stated that the Congress leaders from Delhi had in fact failed to respect or give importance to the aspirations of the former leaders, and that is why this exit from the Congress. What do you have to say?
I don't want to comment on his personal rantings, borrowing your word. Thank
So
you.
thank you. We have
Thank you
released the
very
charge sheet, and we challenge the NDA partners.